I'm going on 3 weeks with no work now. Mistake on Uber and Lyft's part or how they read the DMV report because I have 3 accidents on there, but the 3 accidents on there aren't my fault. One, I was hit by a drunk driver. The other two by illegal immigrants. One where I was caught in a drive-by shooting, and I do have a speeding ticket. I mean, a traffic light ticket on there, but that's beside the point. I've just had a lot of time to sit and do nothing while I wait for my account to be active again. If it's going to be active. I mean, I got to wait 30 days, and it's just hard because it couldn't happen at a worse time of when I'm 8 days sober today. And I just hate that word sober. God, it's sobriety and recovery. I just hate all that. It's just because I look at it as you're just, it's all distraction and coping mechanism. So people have different things to help them get through life. And life in today's world is just, I don't know if it's just the way I live my life that makes me see things different, or I'm actually aware and I see things as they are and other people are just blind to it. But I think you don't see a lot of this until you age, because I'm 51, and when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was just worried about, I wasn't worried about much of anything. I was worried about making money, but I was just, doing things 20 and 30-year-olds do. Of course, I was married younger and at 27, and we traveled, made a lot of money, and just constantly we're on the go and escaping and distracting and just not really thinking about the future. I wasn't raised really to think about the future. I was raised to think about right now. What is, what, and it's kind of a good thing that it's not, well, it's kind of twisted. It's not really thinking about how you would think when people say, like The Power of Now by whatever that writer is. I forget his name, but it's not stuff like that. It's like, it was almost like a default mechanism or a survival mechanism of being in the now and like not planning for the future or anything like that. It was just like surviving is what it was. It was just survival growing up. And I see that coming into my life today. And it's unfortunate you don't see a lot of these things until you age, until you get older and stuff. And you look back and see the things you've done. And then you get stuck in these patterns and stuff that you can't really find a way out of because it's kind of like a life you built, and it's comfortable but miserable at the same time. And I'm just getting to the point where I'm just tired of people. I'm tired of society. I'm tired of social media. I'm tired of media. I'm tired of politics. I'm just exhausted with fucking everything. And there's nothing I can do about it though, because I'm broke. I don't have a car. I live in a small studio apartment. I have a few friends, but not many that I really like want to hang out with. And it's like the people I surround myself with, I feel exhausted after I'm done hanging around them. It's not like you go and you're having a conversation about life and you're sharing things and you're learning things. And I think relationships, even though in, intimate or, just friendship, you should benefit, not in like a narcissistic way, but you should benefit from that person in some way to where you're getting something from it. It could be just an enjoyment or an escape or something like that, but you got to be aware of what you're getting from it, and don't overstay your whatever. You don't overstay that relationship to where it starts just draining you. And that's why I think I'm getting a lot of just like, I'm like a caged animal because I like to be in my car. I like to drive. I like to travel. And I always have these plans of doing this stuff, but it always backfires and always fuck up again. It's like life does start getting better. I mean, more clear. And I think that I see why I like want to just like take 55 milligrams of THC or, chug a 6-pack or, a 12-pack of beer and just kind of just numb out. Because when you really look at society and the world, everybody's like, oh, it's a beautiful place. It is if you're alone and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're away from people. People are dysfunctional. They're fucking angry. They're abusive. They're selfish. They're clueless. I mean, it sounds crazy that I'm saying all this, but it's true. It's like the majority of people have no fucking clue what's going on in the world. And it's like they're just looking for what they've been trained to do and what they're supposed to do. And they're just kind of like just going through life with really dark sunglasses on and not seeing really what's around them. They're too focused on the superficial shit. And I keep fucking up to where I can't. I mean, I watch a lot of these van life things and travel and stuff, and I'm like, where do these fucking people get their money? Are they just like trust fund babies, and then they go and they act like? Because I know YouTube, you can make money doing that, but most of it's with sponsorship. But some of these people only have sponsorships, and they're only putting out one video a week, one video every 2 weeks, and it's like, how are they affording these fucking $100,000 renovations on these vans, the gas prices, just traveling around? And it's like, who knows? The thing is, it's probably a lot of it's fake. They probably have it fucking parked in their apartment fucking parking lot, or I mean, who knows? You don't know what to believe anymore, and that's what's another frustrating thing. It's like the more, if I could just shut my mind off, because the more I see, the more upset I get. Like I'm pissed off at Uber and Lyft, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Just in a drive-by shooting, I just about died, and I'm like, if a real human would look at my account, they could override what's blocking my account. But you can't talk to anybody. Everything's fucking AI. Your account's triggered by AI. You call somebody, you're talking to AI, or talking to somebody in another country where you can't even understand. You're in America and you call for customer service and you can't even understand the person that's on the fucking phone. That just drives me fucking nuts. And then you just, I mean, it's just so, life is just fucking frustrating. There's days I have good days, and I always feel bipolar in a sense, because yesterday, I thought I was having a good day. I mean, yeah, I went and I try to force myself to do hard things, because I think you grow from doing really difficult things in life, and the more difficult situation you make it through is the more you grow. But I keep putting myself in the same type of situation, so I'm staying kind of stagnant. Like yesterday, I went and there was a fucking severe thunderstorm here in Cincinnati, and I was like, well, I'll walk down to my nephew's, and he lives like 7 to 10 miles from here. So I started walking. I got caught in a rainstorm. It was fucking miserable, and I was just like trying to enjoy it, just being out. I'm trying to enjoy not having to work right now, and just, and it's kind of good. It kind of humbles you a little bit, and I think maybe it's happened for a reason. But this kind of situation's happened to me before, but I've never been prepared for it, and I always get prepared for it. But by the time it happens again, I'm unprepared, and I fucked it up, and I'm not prepared anymore. If that even makes sense, because I spend my whole life preparing for stuff like this, but it's like I prepare a little bit, fuck up, prepare a little bit, and fuck up. And it's just like a constant up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm just fucking drained. And I know it's do with my nervous system and, your childhood trauma and all this kind of, it's all the shit that you hear over and over again. And it's so repetitive and so annoying to hear, but it's so truthful. And you hear it, but people don't do anything about it. People stay in shitty relationships, stay in shitty jobs. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Stay places they don't want to live. Don't do things that they want to really do in life because they've been strapped down now because of societal conditioning to keep us just hanging on just enough to keep us alive, to keep supplying like the billionaires and stuff of the world. Because nobody really gives a shit about you. You hear that all the time, but it's so true. No one gives a shit about you. In 100 years, you won't even be remembered. So it's like, but I can't something's wrong with my body to where it's so anxious and so fucking like high strung that I can't just fucking relax. I can't even do deep breathing exercises. I try that. It's so uncomfortable. And the only thing that's comfortable to me is just slowly sipping on beer all day long. But then by the end of the day, you chug enough just to get that. And then it's just the most miserable feeling. And that's the only thing that's keeping me from drinking right now. It's because I can walk myself through. I've lied to myself long enough. I've lied about everything in my life. I'm sick of believing the lies I tell myself. So now I'm questioning if the lies were really the truth. And I'm just, because you don't know what to believe. Everything you fucking watch on TV, everything, I don't even watch regular TV. I don't watch mainstream news, but I do watch a lot of YouTube channels, and I have some favorite YouTubers I watch. But then it's like, what is their life really like behind the screen? It's like, am I being too critical of that? Should I just enjoy the content for what it is and don't dig deeper into what I think their life is really like? Because I hate this fake shit people put out, like their life's so perfect. And then all of a sudden you see the other side of it and you're like, holy shit. Because nobody's authentic and nobody's real. And it's just a very confusing time to be in life. And I actually don't even know what I'm talking about right now, because it's 5:30 in the morning, and I wake up early, and I can't sleep really, and I'm stuck. I can't even go for a walk because it's storming outside. So I'm being tested for some reason. I've been tested my whole life, and it's like, but it's my own stupidity that's testing me, I think. It's like nothing outside the norm that's happening. Yeah, I was almost killed in a drive-by shooting, and yeah, I've been hit by people that don't have insurance and hit by drunk drivers that hit and run, and I got to try to find them, and it gets put on my insurance. Not even my fucking fault, but for some reason my rates go up. It's just life happens. And sometimes life gives you a string of really fucking bad luck. And sometimes they'll give you a string of really good luck. but I'm setting this default to where if things start going well, I'm just intense and I'm waiting for the fucking ball to drop. I'm predicting the ball to drop, and the people are like, "Oh, you're manifesting it." And I'm so sick of it. You manifest what you fucking let. No, you don't. Your action. You don't manifest. You don't think about shit, and shit's gonna happen. You do shit, and the shit eventually, if you keep doing the right things, I think the right things happen. And you'll go through roadblocks, but you can't get detoured by all the crazy shit that comes into your life. You can't live a destructive life. You can't stay in shitty relationships. You can't use people. You can't abuse people. You can't manipulate people. You can't. You just can't be some clueless, fucking delusional, unaware asshole going out and just think life's gonna be. And sometimes I think I'm just talking about myself. I mean, it's just like I don't know what's right or I don't know what's good. When I'm being good and I'm being helpful to people, it feels like almost I'm faking it or it's an act. Because I think when I was a kid, I was forced to be kind and good and do good things for people and never say no and not say these things when I was that kid in me didn't want to do certain things, but I was manipulated and coerced into doing it. And I think that's where I'm caught between my identity of who I am and where I belong in this world, because at this point I'm just fucking confused.